Beach Top 10 Holiday Park Gisborne Thistle versus Alexandra Electrical Napier Marist in the Lotto Federation League. Teams have lined up, they've had the toss. It'll be Thistle in all blue playing left to right, and I'm going to try and be a tricky guy and interact with the comments on the YouTube stream whilst telling you what's happening in front of you. My main focus is going to be telling you who's who, and if we've got the numbers right for the Napier Marist players, I'll also be correct. As Thistle have the kickoff, and Sporforth looks to find Travis White out on the left. Pitch is not as narrow as it looks. It's just a fair bit of MacGyver antics trying to get a camera angle. So it's not a 25-yard wide pitch or anything sinister like that. It's just the camera is a long way away. Such as the perils of football in the mid-reaches, you would say, in terms of standards. It's Batarita on the ball now for Stuart Hill in goal for Gisborne Thistle. And Ryan Anderson comes back into the side after a week off a fortnight ago. Imagine he would have come back into the side last week, but New Plymouth Rangers decided they couldn't be bothered coming to Gisborne to play football. So commiserations to anybody who might have been looking forward to that. Land on the ball now, turning and looking for Jimmy the Gazelle Summerton up top, who will feature in a Gisborne Thistle and Gisborne football first. He's going to be interviewed, or he has been interviewed, and that'll be displayed for you at half time. Something to fill the gap, so to speak. Sure, nobody really wants to listen to me. Shame you're going to have to anyway for the bits that haven't been cut out by ruthless floor manager Tom. And it's a free kick for Thistle here on the park. G'day to Craig Ison. Yeah, we could probably look at maybe some trimming on that tree, but I have seen video from Napier Marist in the past, so I'm wondering where that particular tripod is. Almost a dangerous flick there for Ryan Anderson, but it's rolled out for a goal kick, and that looks like it could possibly be Alex Schroeder behind the tree. Which reminds me back to when Napier Marist visited Gisborne Thistle at Childers Road Reserve here, and I've spent good sort of 60-70 minutes of the game calling Alex Schroeder Ruben Hilton. The penny's just dropped who Ruben Hilton is. He's a former Western Rangers goalkeeper who doesn't look like he's on the pitch today. As Thistle just hold position at the back here. What you will notice in the coverage today is just the effects won't be so strong because that camera is quite a way away from the pitch. But if anybody gets really excited, you'll hear them. Marist now on the ball, and Travis White cuts out Aidan Kirby Vaughan. And it is Kirby Vaughan who will be taking the throw. Marist now on the ball. Ethan Clark shifting it out to what's possibly Angus Dew out on the left. That's Clark again on the ball now. Of course, former Hawke's Bay United youth team player, and he spent a few seasons at Napier City Rovers, where his father also played. Harry, the legend, who scored the goal in the 1985 Chatham Cup final, which ultimately helped Napier City Rovers to win what I assume was their first Chatham Cup back in 1985. Marist now on the ball, looking to get a bit of action. That's Mustafa Chan there in the number 11, former Team Taranaki player. Looking to have a go from distance. And again, due to the angle, that's not as close as it looked. You can see by the behaviour of Thistle goalkeeper Mitchell Stewart Hill that he just got to watch that sail across the byline, or roll across the byline as it were. Batarita now finds White, who's come central to receive that. Period of composure here. Sporeforth on the ball now, looks to go long as he does. Patterson trying to get on the end of it, and he has. Putting a good bit of pressure on Dew there, but his pass central has gone no further than Ethan Clark. That's Harry Lack now in the 10 for Napier Marist. Older brother, of course, of Sam Lack, who has made a move of his own to Napier City Rovers midway through the season. A real deadline day move. Not sure how many £1 million he went for. But a chip coming in from Sam Lama on the YouTube comments. I believe he's of Levin origin, of course, the favourite son of Glenn Lama, the radio sport commentator. Asking if Gisborne's playing with their second squad. No, mates, due to the transient nature of people in the region. Squads change from time to time, so it's the boys out there today doing the job. Other than, of course, the, you wouldn't call it an elephant in the room because he's not too big, but Tom McFroom's been picked up by Havelock North so that he can be involved in their promotion playoff, which is most likely going to be against Wellington United, I would say, from the Capital Premier League. So Tomic's headed south for the winter, so to speak, and he's playing for Havelock North Wanderers now. And good luck to him. Wish him all the best. Tomic, of course, enjoyed the support of Dynamic Rehab while he was in Gisborne, on and off the field. Not only as a player sponsor, but also as a physiotherapist. And we thank Mark and Matt and the team down there for providing those services. Dan Venomer over the ball now, who has gained a player sponsor due to the YouTube exposure. Rotorua Forklift and Machinery Services Limited has liked what they've seen, realised that there was a vacancy, and they've come on board. So thank you to Rotorua Forklift and Machinery Services, Stu down there, or across there we should probably say, for coming on board and helping us out, keeping Dan on the pitch, sending him about the middle regions of the North Island. And it's Venomer there with a throw to Land, who turns in the box. Gets one central, but it's cleared by Oscar Cooper, the coach's son. Summerton now looks to get around Liam Alexander on the outside. I'm going to hazard a guess that Liam Alexander has got something to do with Alexander Electrical. If nothing else, by name alone, it's a Gisborne Thistle corner. Sporeforth stands over, just receiving some lineup information through from Napier Marist, which probably could be through the MyComment app now, but we've seen that number 6 is somebody Darrington. Could be Jamie, could be Jack. It's Mustafa Chan on the break here. He looks to find Liam Percy Fish. Of course, the renowned YouTuber Percy Fish amassed 74 views for his slide tackle piece of footage back in 2015. The video lives on and people are still visiting it every day. And it's Marist still in possession here. So I look to fire up the MyComment app to find out the name of Mr. Carrington in the number 6 that you can see on the right hand side of screen. It's Clark on the ball now, turns and finds what could be Alexander over there on the far side. Gets it back off him, and Sporeforth's putting in a good hassle there, which is going to be won by, looks like Alan Zarate there, grabbing his second start for Thistle. Could also be Ash McMillan. Strike from distance from Jimmy Summerton there. Which gives me a little bit of a chance to investigate the first name of that Carrington lad. You can see him there, he looks like he's playing left centre back. Schroeder's been over the fence. You can see in that paddock behind Park Island. He's gone and got the ball. Good lad. His clearance has gone no further than Patterson. Yeah, it's looking more like a Zarate than a McMillan. And Patterson's copped a blow to the left shoulder there. It could be a maybe a subluxation by the way he's holding himself. The man sponsored by Harbourview Marine, and that's that awful Matt Baples. Got out onto the ground somehow. I don't know how they let him. But he's a nasty guy, but he's a good physiotherapist. So hopefully he's looking after Sam, who doesn't look too happy. If we're lucky, we might see some subs perhaps climbing that tree for a bit of a warm-up. As I further investigate these surnames, I'm looking for round 13, of course. It's probably not going to let me in to see that first name. I'm not allowed to execute that action. The computer says no. Leaves us wondering what Mr. J. Carrington's first name is. If anybody in the comments can shed some light on that, I can write it down. But I'm not going to be able to tell you a whole lot about him. As we go through the Napier Marist lineup, of course, most viewers here will be familiar with the Thistle guys. But of course, we've got Schroeder in goal for Napier Marist with Oscar Cooper and maybe a Jerome Durrington, not Carrington, Durrington, playing at centre back there. Picking that, it is Aidan Kirby-Vaughan at right back and Angus Stewart left. Patrolling the midfield would be a mixture of Ethan Clark, Mustafa Chan, Liam Alexander, I would say, and Yeshnil Nika, the trading card man, which then up front leaves Percy Fish, and maybe just him by himself. Fulton, Hunt and Moffat on the bench today. And looks like there might be a bit of gore involved, so the cameraman Fletcher Stewart Hills decided to keep that out of the public eye just to protect us. That's Patterson moving forward, looking very ginger. I'm going to call it now that that's at least a shoulder subluxation, if not a dislocation, and it's Ollie Davies who's come out on the left for Gisborne Thistle. White does well to track back there. He's switched over to the right-hand side and done well to win the ball off Percy Fish, but it's a long ball here for Marist that Stewart Hill's probably going to have to act on, but again, the deception of the camera angle tells us that was wider than it looked. Davies gets his first touch for today and found Zarate. Sporforth releases Davies on the left. Good little patch of play here for Thistle. A lot of energy that Davies has brought into the fixture. And it's a free kick for the Gisborne Thistle. Little tip for beginners is when you're looking at your phone for extra information, hoping to get some more lineup information, don't check the other messages. You'll go down a wormhole. And it'll be hard to get back from there. Wide again, coming deep, and looking like it'll probably be a Marist throw. Looks like Levin are tuning in here en masse. Maybe not much else to do on a Sunday afternoon. Down there in the Horowhenua Kapiti region. Got the boys discussing scores coming in. Palmy Marist dealt out their toweling of the week to Levin yesterday, but no goals scored in the second half, to the credit of the other boys in blue from the league. Here's Davies in a dangerous position, looks to let one go, but not enough power on his shot. Big g'day to David Jostling over there in the United Kingdom. Hope the Queen is providing a good service today, everything over there. Great to see the crowds come back for the later stages of the European Championships, and a hearty good luck to Italy for tomorrow. Everyone's obviously supporting England in this former colony that we live on. So why not get behind the Azzurri to make things interesting? And it might be mildly amusing to hear it's coming home for another few years yet. Because you wonder what the English fans would say if it ever actually did come home. They'd have to change the song. Here's Zarate in the box for Thistle, behind the tree. Finds Somerton in a spot of space at the top, who's got Sporforth in the middle. Sporforth lets go on the left, but it's blocked by Harry Lack, and Land has a go on his left. For the clearance to be met by Ryan Anderson, who's gone for the pseudo-mullet kind of look today, which is interesting. Strong Brandon Jostling releases Zarate on the right, and it's a last-ditch clearance from Ethan Clark, putting in the legwork to give Thistle another corner as we move into the 17th minute of the fixture here. Still 0-0 down at Bond Field in Park Island. Hazard a guess that it's Cullen Sporforth, of course sponsored by Dig It Gizzy, taking that corner. He'll look to clip. Travis White looking to get it short, but it's not going to happen today, Travi. Zarate, strong header, and almost looked like Thistle heading up 1-0 just behind that tree, and again the deception of the angle. Looked like Schroeder in goal from Napier Marist was either helpless or not concerned. Potentially even a mixture of the two. Splendid hat at the bottom of the screen there, that red number. Great colour. Land gets jacked up by a Lack there, but Sporforth's there to pick up the pieces. Somerton in some space on the right-hand side here now. He'll look to get a shot off. But they know the threat that he poses, and he's met by numbers. Now it's Chan on the ball, and Stuart Hill is out nice and high and wins that, but he's got himself into a spot of bother there, and it's Chan who gets the go-ahead goal for Napier Marist. From a not neutral at all perspective there, I was hoping that one looked like it was going wide, but it wasn't. And it's some composure there from the Turkish national. I believe got the last touch. Might have to get on the YouTubes myself just to confirm that goal scorer. But you all saw it. Thank you, Craig. Jackson Durrington is the name of the other centre back, but was he the guy that got the goal there? It's funny when you're watching these things from the perspective of a fan, you'd have to say, and you find yourself watching the game instead of calling what you see. And it's Thistle who are going to have to respond to this now. Marist haven't had a lot of success this season, but it's been said before, they don't deserve to be down that bottom end of the table. They're a good side. They came second in the Federation League in 2019. And they do promote their youth. No less than, say, 6 5 or 6 teenagers who are all Napier Marist juniors in this side today. And you bring in the likes of Mustafa Chan, Schroeder after heading back up from the South Island, where I believe he went to university in Otago, then turned out for Halswell in the mainland Premier League. Halswell maybe you might say. Speak with a bit of a different accent down there in the South Island, don't they? So who knows how to pronounce those obscure words. Thistle with their third corner at least so far. Craig, if you've managed to get the Chromecast going, if you want to get us a bit of a biography for this Jackson Durrington, if you've got the match on the big screen and the phone in your hand, feel free to share with the viewers who this Jackson Durrington is. It's a fine header and an equaliser for Thistle. Ryan Anderson, sponsored by Habitat Solutions, rises through the crowd. The Gisborne Thistle number 4 and gets the equaliser. He'll be absolutely thrilled to get himself on the score sheet, using all of his 6'4" to rise to that. And it's Thistle with parity on the scoreboard now. And if we didn't know any better, you could be thinking this might turn into a bit of a goal fest today. Looks like a reasonable southerly breeze coming up the ground. And that's Durrington on the ball now. Took my eyes away from the 52" for a second there, and all of a sudden they're still back in possession. Looks like Kirby Vaughan on the ball now. And Mustafa Chan, who's drawn the foul. Free kick in a dangerous position for Napier Marist. See whether this fixture continues to seesaw, and also see that crowd building up on the side there. A couple of temporary grandstands wouldn't go astray. If there's anybody with an engineering background in Napier that wants to get on board and help the Napier Marist club out. They'd have to be quite low though, otherwise we're going to be needing a new camera position. But then again, hey, if there's a temporary grandstand there, you could probably imagine that there might be a spot on it for the camera. The free kick committee is Percy Fish and Lack. Don't need to bother about which Lack anymore, with the younger brother changing costume. And it's Harry Lack who has a go, and Anderson again with the clearance. Strong clearance there, giving Brandon Josling a run for his money in terms of the player strength stakes. Just noticed referee Gareth Sheehan out there today. Man of considerable experience controlling the fixture. It's Dew with the throw-in. Gets it back and has Lack deep inside his attacking half still. Dew on the ball with the throw. Very interesting perspective to watch the game from. It's like that. Playing in a line almost. There is much more width than what looks suggest. Somerton just loses his touch there, but he's back on it now and he's looking to spray. He's found White on the right-hand side here. And that's Brandon Josling, who's given it back to Somerton, who's got himself up the field. Tricky bit of skill there under attention from Jackson Durrington. And Clark's picked that one up and looks to find Percy Fish out on the left, but cannot keep it inside the lines. Spalforth now gets jacked up by Harry Lack, who's on the burst. And Sporeforth does well to recover and tries to give him one back, but to his credit, Lack holds on to the ball. And it's top of the area there, a dangerous ball from Percy Fish, and a bit of attention from Mustafa Chan, who unsure how that can be given a corner, given the goalkeeper took it in the field of play and was assisted over the byline. But Sheehan just obeys what his assistant referee has signalled. And it's Marist with their first corner now. But a tall timber in the middle there. Squared back, but easy loose ball for Stuart Hill to pick up on there, who releases Davies down the left-hand side. Somerton can't quite get a toe on that, but it's back to Sporeforth, but that's possession handed over for Darrington now. Clark. Quite an undertaking to bring you this coverage live. I mean, you got companies like Sky Sports and Spark Sport now coming on the scene and broadcasting from around the country, not to mention the standard broadcasters, but little Rangai Media here has managed to bring you live coverage of a regional football fixture, you'd say. It must be a thrill for the players as well to know that there's an online catalogue of their games. Guy like Ollie Davies, Jimmy Somerton, the start of their career. Videos available for all to see. But it's Napier Marist now on the pitch. It looked like Liam Alexander in some space up on the top, but he's cut back and ended up with a throw. Chandna, who's looking dangerous. Nobody on the end of that one. Travis White belts it away. And it's Somerton, who they will need to foul to stop here, which they have, but Sheehan's played an advantage and Somerton's done well. He's in the box here and he's earned himself a corner. Dangerous man, Jimmy Somerton, sponsored by Alan Callett Panel and Paint. And he has won the corner there for Gisborne Thistle. Thank you, my assistant commentator Craig Ison. Again, they're confirming that it was Mustafa Chan who got on the score sheet for Marist. Then, of course, answered by Ryan Anderson, which leaves us at 1-1. And it's Cullen Sporeforth over the corner here. Dangerous ball into the area there, and it's a bit of hacky sack. Sporeforth's cross with the left foot, and Travis White, who has a go. Got a feeling I'm about to get past a note here by floor manager Tom, who's on the warpath. If anybody ever comes across a guy called Tom in Gisborne, he's got a little beard which he might shave from time to time. Just be careful, he's dangerous. Right, and dangerous is an understatement. Typhoon Tom has swept through Taradale and his television sets flying and all sorts of things going on. A Napier Marist player looks like could be Oscar Cooper, has been injured. And we're back on deck though. We've managed to recover the footage from Bond Field at Park Island in Napier, and we're here in the 33rd minute. As you can see, it's 1-1 between Napier Marist playing right to left versus Waikanae Beach Top 10 Holiday Park Gisborne Thistle. They say never work with animals and children, but probably what we've learnt today is never work with laptops either. But the main thing is we're back here. We won't have my co-commentator Craig Orison or the man on the metaphorical sideline, Sam Lama chipping in from Levin, but you can listen to the rest of us. You can scout away. You can see around that power pole. You can take in what is happening. It's Cullen Sporforth standing over the ball now with a free kick. Looks to the far post. Zarate can't get on the end of it. Good clearance from Cooper, who's managed to find his way back on the field, and it's Gisborne Thistle captain Nick Land holding possession and finding Sporforth deep in a pocket. So Travis White, who has it on the right-hand side, gets around his man, but can't get the crossover. Putting himself about, the young fellow who switched from the left-hand side to the right when Sam Patterson was injured. That's Summerton behind the tree, lurking behind the tree as he does. Cross comes over from Josling, and Davies scuffs one for nothing more than a goal kick. So congratulations if you've found your way back to the footage here. Entertaining first 30 minutes or so, and then technical issues straight after a massive jinxing by myself led us to this point where it's currently around Tuesday lunchtime. Rangai Media CEO Shannon Dowsing has not provided any lunch so far. There's always hope. And we're waiting to see what unfolds before our eyes. It's White now on the right-hand side in the box. Clips one to the far post, and it's met by Davies. And Thistle take the lead. Ollie Davies, the substitute, sponsored by Alan Kellett Panel and Paint, rises at the far post and loops one over Alex Schroeder in the Napier Marist goal. It's a great piece of work from Travis White, sponsored of course by the Te Hapara store, to link up top. It's a couple of boys that'll feature for Gisborne Thistle at the Under-19s tournament at the end of the season, making their impact for the first team here. And is it the blue shorts and blue socks, a winning formula perhaps for the Thistle players in their flash new kit? Angus Dew now jacked up by Alan Zarate. And again, that's a young Lack if I didn't know any better. Or the older Lack, we should say, of course, with his younger brother Sam setting sail for Napier City Rovers midway through the season. Anderson tries to go around the outside and takes the bulldozer through Harry Lack. So they could be totally lackless after this, Napier Marist. Ryan Anderson, of course, sponsored by Habitat Solutions, and his solution there was to just go straight through the bloke in front of you, assuming it's not only architecture and building but also demolition that they do. He'd definitely be the man for it, big Ryan Anderson. And another delay here. I would imagine we're going to see a fair bit of time added on at the end of this half. Of course, after Typhoon Tom, there was a delay with the Cooper injury in the box that we didn't manage to catch footage of, as power was sought. And it's now Jackson Durrington standing over the ball, looking to get things back underway. Harry Lack is fine. Mr. and Mrs. Lack will be pleased. Referee Gareth Sheehan sends him to the side and says, mate, if you're going to go down like that, you've at least got to have a wee bit of a rest, and then lets him back on straight away. Cooper now on the ball for Napier Marist, loose touch, but he's got plenty of space out there. That'll be Kirby Vaughan coughing up possession to Dan Venemer, of course. The sponsor now on board. Thank you to Rotorua Forklift and Machinery Services Limited. Davies on the left now, using his right foot to get one over, looking for the danger man Travis White, and Sporforce picked up on one. It's wide of Schroeder's left hand upright. And then somewhere behind that tree, Alex Schroeder is retrieving the ball, which must have gone some distance, so it didn't look like there was too much power on the shot, but it had a lot of roll. And it's not a steep bank there that it's gone down, it's just a flat patch of land, probably enough to fit maybe a 110 square metre floor plan, perhaps 3 bedrooms and a study. Somerton interrupts that goal kick and gets the ball forward for Thistle, but it's Ethan Clark who's picked it up there. Napier finds lack in a crowded area in the middle, and it's now Percy Fish who has Napier's forward run. Napier Marist look to keep here through Ethan Clark, but it's Zarate again who's got a good tackle in there for the danger man White, who releases the gazelle, Jimmy Somerton. Brought down by Jackson Durrington, and it's a swift yellow card awarded there. As the attention comes in to Somerton throughout the season, he's got to take it as a compliment. People have been watching the footage. They know that he is dangerous. They know his talents, and they'll need to stop it. Good thing about the blue shorts, you can see that pro traffic sponsorship on the bottom of them, loud and clear. Aotearoa Labour Hire, of course, above the number, and Dynamic Rehab below. And it's Under Batarita, the 8-year-old, standing over the ball here. A lot of paperwork has to go through each week as he gets younger and younger to allow the age exemption. He's looking for the far post again. A loose ball in the box there, no one really dealing with that from an attacking or a defensive perspective, and Chan looks to come away and can't get in outside their own half. White again in that dangerous pocket. It's a good challenge from Durrington, who's got Chan now on the left. Sporforth tries to send the ball over to the training fields behind the main ground. White again over the ball. A lot of action here on that right-hand side. And Zarate has picked it up. Good challenge from Napier, clean challenge. Sees Harry Lack come away with it and find Liam Percy Fish up top, who's got around Anderson this time. Chan now in the box, forces some action from Batarita, and it's a Napier Marist corner. Taken a while for them to set it up. The only man in any position of threat there would be Percy Fish standing right on top of the goalkeeper, and they've only committed now 3 players forward. Here comes the cavalry now for Napier Marist. There's no challenge on that from Zarate, just banking on the scraps, which Napier places over the crossbar. One of the pitfalls of playing on a open space such as this, of course, is when that ball goes out, it definitely goes out. Sometimes never to be seen again. Long ball from Land now, looking for Somerton. Cooper reads that well, sends it back down the other end. Chan standing over the ball. Good little contest there with Sporforth. They just come up with it again here, but lost possession. And the referee finds a foul there against Mustafa Chan. And it's all handshakes and high fives, everybody's happy. Sporforth, of course, appears to be limping. Can't pick up a particular moment in this fixture where he's collected that injury. Somerton around the outside, holding on to possession and cuts. Durrington has read the play, come up with a timely challenge. Davies now over the ball. Sporforth for Josling on the right. Josling's cross finds open space, and an opportunistic Jimmy Somerton at the edge of the area. Be in an offside position there, so leaves that one alone, and Liam Alexander picks it up. Venema reads that one. He's got Davies in the middle and Nick Land now. But Nika's challenge is timely. Chan misses out on the free kick there. Referee signals that Sporforth got all ball. And Thistle shifting the ball around quickly. Nice surface on Bond Field there. Summerton again is free and making it look easy at the moment. Napier Marist just sitting back and reacting. Sporforth again. Ravenous at the moment, the Gisborne Thistle players with that lead. Really sensing the blood in the water here. Nika wins that one this time for Percy Fish, and Chan manages to hold up. Batarita's in a good position and manages a clearance. Nika now just hoofs it upfield, and it's gone no further than Brandon Jostling, who of course represents the Cancer Society when he's on the field for Thistle, thanks to that donation from the unnamed club member. Anderson looks to go in hard again there, but Nika's got a good low centre of gravity. And it's an innocuous free kick there, conceded by Gisborne Thistle. Captain Nicholas Land just tracking back there and catches poor old Harry Lack, who's in the wars. So we move towards half time, of course expecting a few minutes of extra time here. Time added on, I should say. Clark now has Alexander on the right. Squares it back for Chown, who releases a powerful drive, but it's blocked well by Land. Nick Land, of course, sponsored by Hokkaido Herefords up the coast there. Peter and Christine Reeves, the Reeves dynasty, supplying the meat for the troops. Clark decides to plant one back inside his own half, and it's Dew who's left with few options. Getting all around the pitch there, Ethan Clark. Percy Fish deep now. Looks to play a ball for, one would assume, Liam Percy Fish, who should be up front rather than back there on halfway, but perhaps it's total football. Perhaps there's something I don't know. Josling's on his heels, but manages to recover possession there. Batarita calms it at the back. Stuart Hill in on the action now, looks to go long. Searching for Davies, but only finds Darrington, who gets the deflection back. Kirby Vaughan out on the right, exchanges with Alexander. It's a Napier Marist throw. Of course, mentioned a few days ago when we were initially commentating on this fixture that this Napier Marist side is predominantly made up of teenagers who have come through the ranks of Napier Marist, who essentially act as a feeder side to Napier City Rovers. Whether that relationship is formalised or not, that's the reality. Napier City Rovers are the first team in the Hawke's Bay region at the moment, especially with the demise of the ASB Premiership. I believe the last iteration was what started as the NZFC. So if you're a player in Napier and you want to play at the highest level, you're at Napier City Rovers. But this season, Havelock North Wanderers on the cusp of promotion as Nick Land turns here and looks dangerous for Thistle. He's put Summerton away. It's a good save from Schroeder, but he was offside. And Napier Marist looking to get a equaliser going into half time here, which would really take the wind out of Thistle's sails after coming back from a deficit. Davies now going at his man. He's fouled. There's another yellow card. Those are really stacking up for Napier Marist. When I say stacking, I mean I can remember at least two. Two's a stack, isn't it? Surely. Small stack. Could be time to get the My Comet app out and gaze into the past to see how many cards in total, but I wouldn't want to risk leaving you. Flying solo here today on the retrospective commentary. So I'll do my best to stay with you and hold your hand. I'll be your Jack if you be my Rose. Hopefully nothing's sinking though. Sporeforth asks for a bit of space. He'll be wanting about 10 yards. Gareth Sheehan, of course, the referee would have heard it all before, so don't think any advice that Sporeforth's looking to give him will bring much change. All set up well with the tallest man on the outside, the inside I should say on this occasion. It's straight into Schroeder's hands. Yeah, long clearance there has only gone as far as Dan Venemer. Somerton puts in a good bit of effort there to bring about the throw for Napier Marist. Thistle want to be tight here. They definitely don't want to go back to 2-all. Of course, the last time they played away to Wanganui Athletic saw goals conceded at difficult times.
2 hours left. Right, thanks, Tom.
Right.
You can probably just cut it before I tried to say that one. Right, wow, welcome back. Words can't express what just happened in the first 6 minutes of that first half, but let's just say Typhoon Tom wasn't the main event, but here we are anyway. It's a Gisborne Thistle free kick, now playing right to left in the blue. At the top of the area, Cullen Sporeforth standing over the ball. Batarita's there, but he's not going to take that on his right foot, I would say. It's Thistle leading, managed to negotiate that period. And Somerton's come from nowhere and popped it in the top right-hand corner of the goal. What a strike. Schroeder stranded. And Jimmy the Gazelle Somerton, sponsored of course by Alan Callett Panel and Paint, has taken Thistle to a 3-1 lead as we begin the second half coverage with a bang. The boys are stoked. Couple of interested viewers on the sideline there, checking out the scenery. Mildly familiar faces, but unsure of the actual significance there. Marist now won't be able to sit anymore. They've got a lot of time, but don't want to sit on a 2-goal deficit. So we'll see how Ken Cooper's men respond here. Batarita Compose picks up on the loose ball there. Land into the area, but a loose touch. Seeing Marist in possession. Zarate been very energetic today, of course sponsored by MediaWorks with the assistance of the Tillman Holdsworth family. He's been putting himself right about, starting to look more and more comfortable in that first team shirt that he's earned. Exciting news come through this week from Thistle head offices as well, with a little bit of Uruguayan injection to come, something to watch out for. A couple of boys with a bit of experience in the Uruguayan system with Juventud and Plaza Colonia. So something to keep an eye out for in Gisborne Thistle's next game, which will be, if they can be bothered coming through, I'm sure Palmerston North Marist will definitely bring a side. But out here in front of us today, beyond that concrete pole, is Alexander Electrical Napier Marist playing left to right. And Waikanae Beach Top 10 Holiday Park Gisborne Thistle playing right to left here in the second half. About 10 minutes into it, Thistle with the 3-1 lead. As you can see on the screen, thanks to the graphics brought to you by Rangai Media. It's Clark over the ball looking to get his crossover. He's been all about the pitch today, or is it Percy Fish? My apologies to Liam. Somerton tracks back to pick that one up. And it could be a second half substitute there for Napier Marist on the right hand side, or indeed a case of mistaken identity. The tough challenge there. Harry Lack looking to get one back. He's collected Brandon Josling. Just as my gaze fell to my app in front of me to find out who that number 12 is for Napier Marist. As mentioned, we don't have Craig Irison on the side, and indeed it is a substitute. It's Ruben Moffat in the 12 there. And Josling struggling on the floor. Could be a good time to check the amount of cards as promised earlier, or could also be a time to just focus on the screen in front of me and make sure I can tell you what's happening. Josling looks like he's going to be okay. That's big Ronald Everston reaching through on the far side of the field there on his mobility scooter. Good to see him still around. It's White with a fortuitous flick there. And Alexander has found himself out on the left-hand side now with that substitution. I'll just have a little check about who Moffat came on for. And it was Angus Dew. So Alexander's switched sides. Moffat on the right. And Zarate now putting himself about, looking to get around Alexander. He's done nothing but kick him in the heel. And he'll stand over the ball now with a free kick. And in the interest of balance, plays it with his left foot, looking nice and tidy there. Well done, young man. Long ball here for Marist is patted down for Moffat by Mustafa Chan, but it's possession to Thistle. Somerton holds it up and finds Sporforth, who picks out Travis White on the right, who settles things. Back to Ryan Anderson and now Batarita. Moffat chips in defensively there and looks to pick up Ollie Davies, who's running him around in circles. Big Jimmy Somerton. Strong through traffic there. Zarate tries a cheeky little chip. Sporforth uses his body well to win the ball from Percy Fish. And Josling with his bionic right ankle has recovered. Just want to say how strong he's looking today as well. News from the gym that he's moved on to the shoulder press. He's shoulder pressing 40 kilogram dumbbells to 8 reps down there at the YMCA Gisborne, where the boys have discounted membership options available. Anybody who's a Gisborne Thistle paid member, if you paid your subs, you'll get that back in discount. $9 a week for a gym membership down there at the YMCA Gisborne, as long as you go in and show your evidence that you're a Gisborne Thistle player. Or they might just believe you. Maybe try it on. Josling now on the right. His cross only goes as far as Alex Schroeder, who rolls Cooper. He gives it back to him. Darrington now over the ball, beckoning his teammates to show a little bit of movement, but it's just the centre-backs and the goalkeeper sharing it between them at the moment, and the ball looks like it's going back there again. Good defensive shape Thistle's holding here. Good bit of work going in from Somerton, shuffling right to left across the top. Travis White's been drawn inside, which has let Liam Alexander down the left hand. And Chan's gone down in a heap. Perhaps an aggressive tickle from Ryan Anderson. It's Davies who could have gone on there, but again, the angles are deceptive. Wins the corner. He's on the score sheet today with the head. As was Ryan Anderson, so 2 headed goals to the Thistle today. And a spectacular free kick from Jimmy Somerton in response to Napier Marist going ahead through Mustafa Chan. The composed finish on the right after a misclearance from Gisborne Thistle. It's their corner now, which you've got to imagine Sporforth is standing over. Deliveries to the middle. Ryan Anderson feels like he's been restricted. Sporforth again pops it over. And it's Darrington on hand to clear halfway. And Batarita from distance. That was closer than it looked by virtue of hitting where the stanchion would be if the goals had stanchions. Instead, we've got an elaborate camping experience set up there. Brings you visions of the Rhythm and Vines tent village that gets set up once a year. Every day closer to R&V 2021, I guess you'd call it. Surely Dave Dobbin makes an appearance again. And who knows who the crew has got lined up. Can get R&V on all your social media channels to keep up with the latest. You can even download the R&V app to see who's going to be entertaining you this summer. And remember, any visiting teams watching this, your away player of the match, if you nominate them when you're visiting Gisborne Thistle, which New Plymouth Rangers won't be able to do because you couldn't be bothered coming over. As I recover my thoughts, the away player of the match goes into a draw for a 2-person day pass to the Rhythm and Vines Festival. So the Napier teams, that's just a short trip up the road. A yellow card for Thistle there. Mustafa Chan is okay though, needn't worry. Unsure how that's ended up with just a throw-in. If there was a foul, perhaps it was for ungentlemanlike language, something such as that. There's Chan again, putting himself about. Definitely a key figure in the Napier Marist side. He wasn't there when they came to Jules Road Reserve, so he won't be getting a Pass to Rhythm and Vines. Back on the pitch at Sporforth now. White, who's getting deeper and deeper. Picked out Ollie Davies on that occasion. Venema is intercepted by Reuben Moffat. And Kirby Vaughan plays Schroeder. Sporforth in space here under attention from Harry Lack. Both of those men already caught the attention of the referee. It's a quick little strike there from Davies, which was dealt with calmly by Schroeder. Josling now looks to slip Zarate away, but he's on his heels and doesn't cotton on to that one. Yeah, a lot of touches on the ball, Schroeder there in the Napier Marist goal, and they might do well to get that ball forward. You're trailing by 2 goals at home with less than half an hour to play. Of course, it's in the past. They can't hear me because it's now Tuesday and the game was on Saturday. But it's the thought that counts, isn't it? Across there, it was Kirby Vaughan reaching forward. Percy Fish has a go, and it's a good sharp save down to the left by Mitchell Stewart-Hill, of course sponsored by Ryan Electrical. And it's got as far as Somerton, who's keenly contesting Worth Cooper, the 2 teenagers going at it. Teen giants, you'd go as far as calling them. Somerton, of course, we learned is around about 6'3". I'd give him 6'4", and the longest femur in the Gisborne Thistle team. It's Sporforth without debate, standing over the free kick here. Yeah, it's a shame that Angus Dew's off the field because leaves no social media presence for Napier Marist. He's the Instagram king of the team with 386 followers, but nobody else within cooey of that. And Batarita was within cooey at the far post there with the header, but nothing to trouble Alex Schroeder. Looks like Alan Zarate might be vacating his position on the field. And all will be revealed who has come on for him once we get a bit of pan on the camera. We'll bring that to you in due course. At the moment, just enjoy the feast of rugby posts and lighting poles in front of you. Looks like Ashley McMillan in the number 5 there, who's come on for Alan Zarate. Sponsored by Gisborne Honda. More of a holding midfielder, McMillan, than an attacking one. And that indeed is 12 o'clock on Tuesday, the something of July. Thanks to the Gisborne town clock in the background there. Needs a nickname, Gisborne town clock, if there's anyone out there. Also in need of a discount code for Neighbourhood Pizzeria today. If anybody is feeling creative, just make something up and tell them that you heard it on the coverage. McMillan now at the top of the box. Read well by Ethan Clark, who's put Liam Percy Fish away, but a loose touch gives Batarita time to recover, and a hurried attempt on goal is gratefully accepted by Mitchell Stewart-Hill, who's got Jimmy the Gazelle Somerton on the right. Looks to find the forward run of Nick Land, who might be finding himself a little bit further forward with McMillan's entrance into the fixture. Clark goes long again. This time Chan has made his way forward. He's got Moffat on the right, but he's ignored him, gone for goal instead, and Mitchell Stewart-Hill's got about a 40-metre walk to go and get that ball. Fortunately, it won't have made its way into that paddock you can see beyond the tree. Unsure of the type of tree. If there's any arborists out there who can fill us in, there's a comment section available on the YouTube platform. I'm calling oak. Stewart-Hill's long clearance. A gentle southerly breeze behind him today at Park Island by the looks of it. Clark on the ball now. Has Nika to his right. Ruben Moffat this time is allowed to play. But Thistle have forced them back well. It's Cooper and Darrington again over the ball. Liam Alexander in his new position on the left-hand side. He's got a bit confused there and coughed it up to Sporforth, who has Somerton through. Flag stays down. Sporforth turns well out of traffic and lets one go. And it's an 80-metre walk on that side. So thankfully there's a spare ball on hand. Schroeder has Darrington available to him. Percy Fish has Alexander. Looks to slip him through again. He's got around Josling, but a sliding challenge sees the ball out of play and a throw into Napier Marist. Harry Lack over the ball now, looking to exchange, but Travis White's on hand to cut out the danger. McMillan's loose touch is picked up by Ethan Clark. Scrappy little period here. Perhaps desperation coming in from Napier Marist. McMillan's got time. It's to no end result, and Somerton's persistence is rewarded with a 40-yard run. You don't want to let him do that. And no foul found there by referee Gareth Sheehan. Chan pummels it into Venema, which results in Nick Land being able to turn in the middle of the park. Marist back well in numbers. And it's Liam Alexander taking it away on the left side here. A lot of possession being coughed up in that middle third of the pitch, which Napier Marist coach Ken Cooper won't be too pleased with, but he doesn't have a lot of options on the bench, especially with that loss of young Sam Lack to Napier City Rovers. Venema with the throw now. Ball stayed in. Davies has a chance to cross, but Harry Lack does well to stay right on top of him. Good piece of defending there to prevent that cross from coming over, but Venema's snuck away. He's found Land at the near post, top of the 6-yard box. Schroeder's conceded that there was a deflection, if not a save. Full credit to Gareth Sheehan there for allowing the players' honesty to come through. Spurforth's corner is met by McMillan and results in a goal kick. Just spotted at the bottom of the screen there, down to the left, a couple of Gisborne Thistle players of the future, young Johnny Batarita and River Somerton. Of course, going to have to cross codes. River's a strong Ngātapa rugby boy. And on the pitch, it's Mustafa Chan, still trying away. Theatrically reacts to another loss of possession in the middle third of the field. It's Clark now, goes short this time to Harry Lack. And they've managed to keep it. Lost this time through Chan. Spurforth looks like he's enjoying that battle. McMillan's won the ball there. Industrious work in the middle of the park. Substitute. Fixture being played in very good spirits. No, it doesn't appear to be too much consternation. It's a ball into the area here for Napier Marist. Moffat wins the corner. Spurforth stretching out what appears to be a little bit of cramp settling in. Oi. Dangerous little corner to the near post there. Nika's flick on, saved by Stuart Hill, and then behind that tree, rearguard bit of action. Full credit to Stuart Hill for keeping that ball out there. Yeah, it just stops the game momentarily there, but for no particular reason by the looks of it. There's old Rodney Thruppington there on his mobility scooter. For the keen eyes, seeing that at the bottom of the screen, it's Somerton who ranges forward here. Popping into view again, real highlight for matches at Park Island when Rodney arrives. Of course, $1 going to the refurbishment of Marineland every lap he makes around that field. Kirby Vaughan with the throw now for Napier Marist. And that's the familiar pairing of Cooper and Durrington starting things off again. This time he's found Percy Fish on the left, but either Josling or Ryan Anderson cuts out well there, and it's a through ball that's made it all the way into the area for Jimmy Somerton. And Davies attempts an elaborate volley. Couldn't quite judge that one. Chan now, through ball is met by Brandon Josling, and have to be the most one-eyed of Napier Marist supporters to consider that a back pass, but Stuart Hill deals with it. Davies now picks up on the loose touch from Kirby Vaughan, looking dangerous here, and chooses not to shoot again. However, White doesn't need to be asked a second time. Football's a simple game, only a few ways to put the ball into the goal, and it involves bunting it with some part of your body in that general direction. We often lose sight of that. And the Napier Marist throws ended up with possession to Gisborne Thistle. Again, that middle third of the pitch results in loss of possession, and Somerton's fouled again, this time by Reuben Moffat. Gaining a lot of attention today, Jimmy Somerton. And justifiably so, he's a dangerous man. He's no floor manager Tom, but he will be in a few years. If he can keep those talents on the football pitch, he's got a big future ahead of him. Sporforth crosses when he might have had a go, and lands header, can't get the power on it. Niken out. And it's a tired, dejected glance down at the turf from Liam Alexander. 10 minutes to go on the fixture, takes about 20 seconds to score a goal. But Napier Marist not looking too keen to have a go. Josling plays a bit of force back. No long throw merchant for Gisborne Thistle as it stands. There's Chan looking long, thumping it long, telling Liam Percy-Fish to get after it. And Batarita appreciates the opportunity to pick that up without a whole lot of pressure. It's the same combination. Has resulted in Chan with the ball out on the left-hand side. Moffat making a forward run into the area. Good challenge from Ashley McMillan has drawn a final deflection off Mustafa Chan, who doesn't believe it was the case. Stuart Hill standing over the ball now, plays short to Batarita. Somerton's under attention from Aidan Kirby-Vaughan, who's given up pretty quick, and he was the top academic student in his class in year 10, Aidan Kirby-Vaughan, and you'd think he'd be looking for a little bit more diligence on that part. 3-1 down. TNL1, of course, at Napier Boys High School was a keenly contested demographic, you would say. And there we go, he's showing his true colours there, staying alert, picking up the ball again. Can't keep a good man down at all, can you? It's Moffat now, who has Nike in the middle, gets it back and gives it back again. Ethan Clark, who's been putting in a lot of work today. Chan now has Percy-Fish out on the left, but the ball is cleared. It's Darrington picking it up again, off to the coach's son, Oscar Cooper. Harry Lack finds Clark again. Darrington looks to go long, but it's Ryan Anderson there, the only one who looks like he's interested in it. Travis White, a little bit of defensive work, supported by McMillan. Napier Marist could have looked dangerous there, but Thistle have recovered. Stuart Hill goes long. It's Cooper who cuts it out. Looks to go straight forward again to Harry Lack. As the Spitfire soars overhead. It's a Gisborne Thistle free kick here. Stuart Hill goes long, Somerton keeps it in. Davies wins the ball, gets it back to his mate Somerton. It's Veneman now who gets possession central to McMillan, who has a go, and it's dealt with well by Alex Schroeder. Haven't had the chance to raise this up until now, but Schroeder comes from a long line of power pullers. His grandfather Lindsay, of course, commonly known as the godfather of power pulling in the Hawke's Bay. So Alex Schroeder, strong set of hands, strong set of wrists. You're going to have to really belt one to get it past him. And perhaps Thistle knew that with the 2 goals scored from headers and the other scored from a free kick today. Somerton here with another chance. Goes straight at him and looked like what might have been a knee to that by Schroeder, but it's gone outside the far post and he's not claiming the save. And Somerton needs those if he's going to rein in Nicholas Carrick at the top of those Golden Boot standings. Stab in the dark, but I'm saying Somerton might be on 7 or 8 this season, and Carrick will be up there on sort of 14, 15. So he's going to have to get a couple of hatties and hope that Carrick doesn't. And some bit of skill there to find Travis White. Yards of space on the right-hand side, does well to keep it in. Anderson's forward run, combined with a forward roll, back to his teenage dancing days. Ryan Anderson, fleet-footed and fancy-free. Popular man amongst Gisborne circles. Bit of lens maintenance going on there. Perhaps from a concerned local. Ballforce corner evades all. It's a volley that's blocked by Oscar Cooper. Davies has a chance now. On the half volley this time, into the hands of Schroeder. And it's Napier Marist now up the other end. It's Liam Alexander over the ball, loops one into the area. Either not dangerous enough for the camera to catch up with, or so dangerous that the attention waned. As we, I was about to say hurtle towards full time, but we're definitely not hurtling here. We're meandering. Crowd staying in their seats, except for the lady in the pink beanie. It's time for a stretch for her. And old mate underneath 4 jackets doesn't even have a seat at all. Harry Lack now as Napier Marist look to take, could be their last chance to give us a tighter finish here on Bond Field in Park Island in Napier. They're back in numbers here, Napier Marist. They've done well to get behind the ball. Thistle still in position, however. Somerton still looking dangerous as a go from distance. And it's another Napier Marist goal kick, short again. As that breeze appears to pick up. Game, of course, played on a Sunday, not a Saturday as previously mentioned. So it's a Sunday afternoon that you see in front of you at the moment. That's Nickland on the ball now. This will look to take the fixture well and truly out of Napier Marist's hands. Someone's clearly just asked the referee how long, and he's said 2 or 3 minutes. Napier Marist look to take their last opportunity to score, and I will take the last opportunity just to thank our sponsors here at Gisborne Thistle. Of course, Waikanae Beach Top 10 Holiday Park, the main sponsor. Teams travelling here, please use them when you do. If you plan on settling in Gisborne or anywhere in the whole of New Zealand, Aotearoa Labour Hire could be the people that can help you get what you need to get your job done. Good local lad, Izzy Whitley, who started off the company. Expanding across the nation now. You can find them on alh.nz or just Google Aotearoa Labour Hire. Thanks also to Dynamic Rehab, that lovely Mark Papel, that Keyworth down there. Pro Traffic, you can see the white patches on the back of the Gisborne Thistle shorts, keeping us safe on the roads and managing our crowds. Crowds that you'd see at places like Rhythm and Vines. Feature on sleeves of the Thistle uniform. Thanks also to MediaWorks and More FM for letting the locals know when the game's going to be on, where so long as teams like New Plymouth Rangers don't neglect to turn up. Neighbourhood Pizzeria is a place you can go for dinner. Go and see Marcel down there and make up a discount code to take your 5% discount. We'll go today. We'll make it 10 if there's another goal here for Thistle though. Tired legs on that pitch indeed. Need to get into the YMCA Gisborne to work themselves out, and there's the 4th goal there. Sporforth on the right, speculative cross to the far post you'd say, and it's 4-1 to Gisborne Thistle over Napier Marist. I feel like time's running out. That full-time whistle is near. Thanks to New Zealand Community Trust for topping up our sponsors, as well as the Grassroots Trust of the TAB New Zealand for getting us that extra cash to help these boys get on the road. And we're imminent to the close of this fixture here, you can just tell. Congratulations to the boys down there for sorting out that power-related issue and being able to bring us this coverage. And we look forward to seeing you this Sunday. I believe a 1 p.m. kickoff, if my memory serves me correctly, down at Childers Road Reserve. Second position, Palmerston North Marist coming through. Looking to stay in touch with Havelock before it becomes only mathematic. And Thistle, of course, can get into 3rd place with a victory. I mean, you've got powerhouses like Havelock North Wanderers under the coaching of Chris Greatholder, and a massive club like Palmerston North Marist and the other ones above you. Going all right. The Gisborne Thistle boys, good comeback victory today.